Clearly, people are not here for David Justice spilling the tea on his ex-wife Halle Berry of 30 years ago. But to his defense, Matt Barnes did ask David about how he handled his public relationships during the 90s. And since Halle Berry was his wife during that time, he brought it up. However,
so baby, when you ready, hit my line. Tell me what you wanna do. I know you see I'm feeling you.
Hey you guys, before we get into today's video, I just want to take time, as I always do, to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. If you're not already currently subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button right now. Also, I do have another channel called Brandy B Review TV. Navigate to the first comment pinned to the top to check that out. Also, like the video, you guys. Comment on the video. I want to hear your thoughts, so comment and like. And now let's get into this juicy topic.
in today's celebrity couple toxic news, we are talking about social media reacting to Halle Berry's ex-husband David Justice spilling all the tea on their 1990s marriage. In case you missed according to Yahoo News, David Justice is getting frank about the reason for his divorce from Halle Berry nearly 3 decades ago. The former Atlanta Braves outfielder and first baseman spoke out on the All the Smoke podcast with co-host Matt Barnes and reflected on how he dealt with the attention placed on his personal life. He said this: "She asked me to marry her after knowing me for 5 months," he remembers. He also says this: "I don't know if my heart was really into it, but I didn't want to make her feel bad and say no. I was just in the moment. It caught me off guard. We're getting along, we're vibing. Again, we're only 5 months in. We're still in the honeymoon stage." The couple, who were wed from 1993 to 1997, spent a lot of time apart while she was out of the country making movies. He said this: "It wasn't really a lot of negative attention until I decided to leave her in 1996, he adds. He says, "Months into the marriage, I'm looking at my mom. I'm a Midwest guy, so in my mind, I'm thinking a wife at that time should cook, clean, and I'm thinking, okay, if we have kids, is this the woman I want to have kids with and build a family with? And at that time, as a young guy, she don't cook, don't clean, don't really seem like motherly. Eventually, I realized this isn't the person I wanted to spend my life with," he said. He goes on to say, "Honestly, we probably could have made it if I knew about therapy. It's just that I, because I was young, had only been in honestly one real relationship before her. My knowledge and my understanding and my wisdom around relationships just wasn't vast." He did say it bothered him that Berry didn't set the record straight after an abusive unnamed boyfriend struck her in the head and punctured an eardrum, resulting in hearing loss, something she disclosed in People in 1996. He said this: "She let the world think it was me. I thought she was dead wrong for that." But he acknowledges he could have handled their split better. He says, "I look back on the situation and I'm like, that girl really did love me. And I can see why she would be so mad at me. Because imagine if you really love somebody and they tell you they want to break up and there's nothing you can say to get them back. That had to have been rough on her." Oscar winner Berry, who is 58 years old, is in a long-term relationship with Van Hunt. Previously, she was married to Oliver Martinez, 2013 to 2016, and Eric Benet, 2001 to 2005. She has 2 kids, Nyla, 17 years old, whose dad is Gabriel Aubrey, and a son, Maceo, 11 years old, with Martinez. Justice, who is 59 years old, has been married to his wife, Rebecca Justice, for 24 years, the mother of his 2 kids. Here's how people are reacting to this news. Somebody said this: "She proposed to you and you thought she was a traditional woman." Someone else says, "Wanting your millionaire superstar wife to cook and clean is wild. Just hire someone, bro." Someone else says, no, you cheated and you hit her. Be real. Others said this, dude is real cold out here in these streets. There's no way I'm talking about my ex of 30 years ago. Someone else says, nobody, and I mean nobody, asked for this information. Shaking my head. Someone else says, if I was Halle Berry, I wouldn't cook or clean either. I would absolutely pay someone. The fuck? She's Halle Berry. Others said this, a perfect waste of internet space. Someone else says, I remember telling a rich man that wanted me to have his kids that I didn't cook or clean. He looked me in the eyes and said, I have a maid and a private chef. Is there anything else we need to cover? That's how you handle it. Someone else says, hire staff. She's a star. Finally, others said this, you know this burns me in some way. Why are you telling all y'all business? Why try to put this all on her? Even if she asked you, you said yes and went through with it. What does that make you? Someone else says, what did his role consist of? Cheating. Someone else says, traditionally the man is the main provider, breadwinner, also mows the lawn and takes out the trash. Did those things play a factor? Just wondering. Clearly, people are not here for David Justice spilling the tea on his ex-wife Halle Berry of 30 years ago. But to his defense, Matt Barnes did ask David about how he handled his public relationships during the 90s, and since Halle Berry was his wife during that time, he brought it up. However, Mr. Justice used this opportunity as a therapy session. He literally painted a picture of some jealous moments between he and Halle and some things he wasn't a fan of regarding the marriage. And in my opinion, he could have kept it short and sweet, but I mean, come on. He used this opportunity to give the people some tea for this interview. I will say this, I don't think he divorced Halle because she didn't cook and clean or wasn't motherly, because a woman can learn to do those things. But if you listen closely, it was more so about Halle being a career woman and probably not having time to do those things, because he did mention that they spent a lot of time apart due to Halle being in different countries filming movies, and she had a team around her building her up. So that is the real reason he most likely left her. Leaving a woman just because she can't cook and clean when you have the ability to hire people to teach you is very trivial. So honestly, I think David was being politically correct when he said this. I do respect him though for acknowledging that, you know, he was young at the time and wasn't experienced in relationships, so he could have handled things better. Who is the ex that mistreated Halle, resulting in her loss of hearing? That's actually my first time hearing this. The most public and toxic relationship, or shall I say the first toxic relationship I remember Halle having was when she was with Eric Benet, who had a sex addiction. But now that David Justice has had this interview, I have questions. He talked about everything but the restraining order Halle put on him. Halle Berry obtained a temporary restraining order against David Justice in 1996. Following their separation and citing fear for her personal safety and well-being. This occurred after their separation in February of 1996, and their divorce was finalized in June 1997. Justice denied the allegations at the time, stating he posed no threat to Halle. Why didn't David go into details on this very controversial topic? This was the opportunity for him to clear things up. Why did this woman get a restraining order on him? Clearly, Halle had some sort of evidence or proof to get a restraining order. So I find it very interesting. I believe him though when he says he wasn't the ex that caused Halle's hearing loss injury. Rumors have speculated for years that the man responsible is actor Wesley Snipes, but there isn't any solid proof of this being true. But this is just crazy and all very, very interesting. Anyways, you guys, what do you think of today's celebrity couple toxic video? Do you think David Justice could have kept the information regarding Halle in the interview short and sweet? Which ex do you think is responsible for abusing Halle's eardrums? Leave a comment. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Hi guys, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm creating for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.